everyone, and welcome to the season 1 finale of Starting 11 here on the Let's Get Ready Network, the Highlights channel. I'm Adelia, that's my buddy Snark, and we're here to talk about the final weekend of the Premier League for the 2022-23 season. Snark, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. Boy, did I have a great night's sleep last night too. Plenty of rest and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed today, ready to go. The final episode of the 22-23 season here on LGRN, the highlights. And can't wait to get through this. It's like it's the last day of school, Adelia. We're gonna go over everything, but are we gonna go over everything? Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a slightly different show today because a lot of these games just, quite frankly, didn't matter.
Nope. Hardly.
So we're not alone this week, though.
Oh, yeah.
We have joining us for this episode a special guest. You see him on this channel a lot, ladies and gentlemen, Fares Muthana.
Damn it.
What a welcome. All the week.
Giving yourself your own applause.
Yep.
Yeah, smart.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the applause for Granite Xhaka. That's for you, Granite. Shout out to you, man.
Happy trails to you.
Yeah.
There's going to be a little upheaval here starting. Well, it's already actually started a little bit. News is already coming out, but we're going to talk news, everything that happened after we get through the week, which we're going to start by going all the way back to, I believe it was Wednesday, and Brighton against Man City. Again, a game that really, kind of means something for Brighton. They finish it 1-1, ending City's streak of just wins. If Phil Foden scores for them. Now, okay, I've got two people here, so it's a reasonable group to ask. Does Phil Foden have the worst haircut in the Premier League?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
He looks like Malfoy's buddy there from Harry Potter, like that shit. He has a Slytherin haircut.
Yeah.
No, it looks like he takes it off at night and he clips it back on in the morning.
It's like Lego hair?
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
He does this. He's Mr. Potato Head. Cool. He hangs it and then he goes to sleep. He wakes up and he just latches it back on his head.
Okay, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but Phil Foden makes a decent living, doesn't he? He's not scraping by.
He's got a decent contract.
He's one of like the 4 Man City bench players that make more than some starters in the English Premier League.
He can afford a 40-pound haircut, right?
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, every once in a while, just get a haircut.
You want to talk about somebody who has also bad hair, Rob? That's also connected to Man City.
Sure.
Jack Grealish. What is up with that? What is up with that?
Speaking of money, holy hell, Jack Grealish, yeah.
$117 million, guys.
He started earning it towards the end of the year. A much better
12
second half.
goal contributions.
Yeah, most of it's the second half. He was on the bench for a lot of that too. Like he was playing behind Foden. So yeah, he started. Well, they have all that talent. Like they win. Like of course they win the championship again. It's the third year in a row that they've won?
Third year in a row.
They look unstoppable. Could get the treble this year. I think they're favored to get it, which is pretty crazy. But a couple of stumbles here. But if to say that City stumbling, they were playing max half speed. Yeah,
they had nothing left to play for in the Premier League. They have these 2 big games coming up in the FA Cup final and the Champions League final.
They sat all their starters.
They didn't care if they lost this game.
Yeah, they sat at their starters. They didn't care.
Yeah. Erling Haaland could have scored a goal too, but just pulled Levi Colwill out of the way to score it. And they actually called it, which is good for them. Honestly.
One game, Rob. One game, they had $500 million on the bench.
Yeah.
Like one game. They're like, just sit on the bench. Like literally. It's insane. It was like that one time Barcelona benched Luis Suarez, Leo Messi, and Neymar, and like Iniesta. And I'm like, y'all want to see what almost $1 billion looks like on the bench?
No.
Here it is. It's like the same thing. Like $500 million. Here it is on the bench. They're just watching, having fun. Julio Alvarez, One of their backup strikers, the young Argentinian
Hmm.
World Cup champion. I think he starts for anybody else not named Man City. But the problem is, Man City has this guy, this mastodon from Norway named Erling. Um, he's his backup. So he scores a
30,
goal. They win
36
1-0.
goals. 36 goals. So I was predicting almost 50. So he kind of coasted the second half of the year.
Yeah, he did.
I
Yeah,
think I think the reason he got 36. No, but is it 36 in all competitions or just 30
36 in the
No,
Premier League.
6 in the
just
Premier
Premier
League.
League?
Yeah,
So, but in all, yeah, I don't think he scored.
I think he's definitely hit 50 in all competitions.
probably. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
okay,
thinking 50.
probably.
I thought not only was he going to beat the record, he was going to absolutely
I
destroy
I
it.
think he could have gotten over 40, but I go to what Thierry Henry said when they were dissecting him in Champions League. He said when he makes his runs, he makes his runs the same for everyone who has the ball.
Right.
And Thierry Henry told him on air, he's like, when Kevin De Bruyne has the ball, you run a certain way towards the goal. When LK Gundogan has the ball, you run a certain way for him. You don't run the same way for De Bruyne as for a Gundogan. Like you can't. That's
Hmm.
that's the way. That's the way Thierry Henry. He didn't really score goals a lot early because he didn't. When he realized, oh, when this teammate has the ball, I have to run this way to get the ball. But if this teammate has the ball, I have to run another way. You can't. Not everyone has the same passing ability as Kevin De Bruyne. You can't just run and De Bruyne be like, I found you. No, that's not happening. You know what I mean? Like Jack Grealish, when he has the ball, you can't run the same way as Kevin De Bruyne with the ball on his feet. You can't do that. You just can't do that. So when Erling finally realized I have to change my runs anytime I want to goal, that's when he starts scoring goals. And he's going to figure that out next season. I think he gets 40 next season. Easy.
Just to think, he scored 36, and his his level is way up here, and he's
Mhm.
only here. Like to say that he won't score 50, I think is outrageous. There's a very good chance he scores 50, but yeah, he wins. He wins the Golden Boot. Harry Kane finishing second this year with 30, I believe.
Mhm.
The second time Harry Kane has scored 30 goals in a Premier League season and not won the Golden Boot. He finished behind
That's
Salah's 32 a few years ago.
mhm.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, yeah, good for him. Just one other thing I wanted to mention about that Brighton City game is that kid Julio Enciso's goal from outside the box. Wow, this kid's 19 years old. He showed that promise. I think he scored his first goal against Chelsea. That seemed to
Where's he
happen a
from?
lot. Enciso, I'm not sure. And then I think he scored against Arsenal as well. I think he scored a good goal there. So yeah, this kid is 19 years old, and Brighton just finds these guys. They find these guys.
He,
Chelsea
he's
went to
from
go and buy
Paraguayan.
Paraguay.
coach Paraguay. Oh, there you
Paraguay.
go. We're like these guys just know what they're doing. Why isn't anybody going after Brighton's scouting staff instead of going after their goddamn managers a month into the season
Yeah.
and giving them a 5-year contract for 60 million goddamn pounds? But
Yeah,
nevertheless,
who did that?
I'm not. I wouldn't be able to say. I can't remember so long ago.
I
Uh,
think I think it rhymes with a team that played at Bamford Bridge.
oh, Bamford Bridge. Oh, yes.
Ah,
Lovely. It's a lovely spot.
mhm.
Uh, Another match, another midweek match. Uh, yeah, and it was Man U beating Chelsea again, 4-1. I think Chelsea was the better team for most of this game, especially the first half. But the problems just keep getting glaring and glaring and glaringly obvious. These guys need a striker because when these guys get in tight, they stink. Kai Havertz couldn't hit the side of the barn if he was standing in the barn. Connor
Oh,
Gallagher, oh my God, where's the finish on this guy? It's unreal. It's unreal how you can let the ball go off your foot like that and go absolutely right. It's incredible. But I've gotten to the point now with these guys. It's like, do I even get upset? I haven't gotten upset about this in a while. It's just something I've come to realize is they're not very good. Uh, they need a lot of help. They paid 600 something million pounds in the transfer windows, and it's resulted in nothing. The worst finish Chelsea's had since I believe so they were sent down in like 1988. Yeah, it's incredible. João Felix, the one goal scored, consolation goal, is pretty late. It was a nice goal. This guy, of course, is come from a transfer
Loan.
that sorry, a loan, and then they're paying him still 12 million a year, and they're gonna do it again probably. Who knows? There's so much change that happens to
Well,
happen at
Rob,
Chelsea.
your striker help is coming.
Oh my god,
His
if
name
you're
is Christopher Nkuku. He played for
can't believe.
RB Leipzig.
Yep, he won
He's
their golden boot. He won their
he,
golden
he
boot.
won the Golden Boot in the German league.
15 goals, but
No,
yeah,
the
That
Austrian
was
league.
a horrible golden boot race in the Bundesliga this year.
Yeah, the
yeah,
Bundesliga.
15 goals.
So he's he's one of the French nationals.
Hmm.
He's coming. Let's see if he helps out in that department.
I just hope that they do something. I just don't want Lukaku back. Like he's doing fine.
Lukaku doesn't want to come back.
Well, no, we don't want him back. None of the fans want him back. None of the fans want him back.
He doesn't want to be back either.
Well, he doesn't have a choice. If we say he has to come back, he has to come back. But yeah,
Plays very well when he's in an Inter Milan jersey.
Yeah, well, a lot better than he did in Chelsea. But Chelsea, for some reason, decided, oh, we're going to give you an incredible amount of money, and this is before the new era, the bully era. They gave him all this money, so I don't know, and he just doesn't fit. Yeah, I don't know.
Man, how does he not fit? He's a true 9. You need a 9, don't you?
Yeah, but he didn't fit in Tuchel's thing either. So yeah.
Well, he didn't fit Tuchel's thing. Is he going to fit
Pochettino?
Pochettino's thing? What does Pochettino play?
He plays just fast. He plays hard pressing, so he has to be on guys. And I don't see Lukaku doing that. I don't see Lukaku ever coming back.
That's the way Inter Milan plays,
forward.
Though.
But yeah, if we have Nkuku on the squad, there's no reason that we need Lukaku. But we can't. We won't be able to sell him. We won't be able to sell him. It'll be another loan, probably to Milan, who's done well. I just don't want him on the squad.
The Italian teams always do this. They always do this.
Yeah.
They're always like, I don't think we can buy the player. Just have him on loan.
Yeah.
They loan him out, then they come back. So the English team thinks they're good because they played very well in Italy. He doesn't play very good in England. His value decreases. The Italian team buys him for half the price.
Yeah.
It's happening to I think either it's Aston Villa or West Ham because they both have similar jerseys, that maroon reddish. His name is it Gianluca? Who did Gianluca play?
I don't know what you're talking about, Fares.
He's an Italian striker in the English Premier League who wants to go back to Italy. An Italian team is like, we can't buy him right now. We'll have him on loan. He's gonna play in Italy. He's gonna play very well. The English team brings him back. He's gonna stay in the English Premier League, and the Italian team is gonna buy him for half the price. It happens all the time.
Yeah. That's fine. There's only 4 teams, and all of them cheat. So
Gianluca Scamacca.
Gianluca Scamacca, that guy, yes.
From West Ham.
West Ham. Yep.
He was not good this year.
He's not very good. Exactly. So his value has decreased. So why should an Italian team buy him for half the price? Watch it. Just watch. It happens all the time. And you're right, Rob. Yeah, the top 4 teams, they're always cheating.
Yeah. Let's look at Juvie. They're in trouble again.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah. Again, so Felix gets the 1 goal late, takes a clean sheet away from De Gea. I think he won the Golden Glove this year, right?
Which is weird.
Yeah.
He's not a very good goalie.
Well, I think
he had the most clean sheets, apparently.
Yeah, and a lot. Like there was a lot of clean sheets.
I know Man U fans who hate that man's guts.
Yeah,
hate his guts.
I mean, was it Roy Keane that was just quoted as saying, "I'd move away from De Gea"?
Yeah.
No.
The problem is, I don't think they can sell David De Gea anywhere.
Yeah, because his contract is outrageous, right?
Not anymore. They can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could go someplace. Someplace would buy him, but at a diminished rate. They'd never get their money back from him. And why would they want to get rid of him? They made Champions League.
Yeah,
and he played well. They played well. Especially considering the start to their season, us making fun of those first couple episodes. Ooh, that kind of backfired.
Yeah.
That's Eric Ten Hag.
Oh yeah, great job.
Yeah.
Hey man, Eric Ten Hag, he could walk out. I'll walk out the season with a trophy if they go all out for that FA Cup final.
Yeah,
nice to have a it's nice to have a derby in a final.
Yeah, it's always
Anthony nice. and who else was injured in this game?
I know
There were
that
two Man
Anthony
United
was.
players injured in this game. I forget who the second one was, but they were two important players for United that might not
Sancho?
be fit for the. No.
I don't know. I
Rashford?
remember Rashford going down forever, because that's what he does. He's the
Yeah.
biggest faker in the league. But he came back.
Yes,
He
he
scored
is.
later. He scored later, so he came back. So everybody scores on this, though. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
scoring
sure.
on Chelsea is not something.
Luke Shaw. Anthony and Luke Shaw were
Luke
both
Shaw.
injured.
Yeah.
For a minute,
Kind of a.
I thought Luke Shaw was Muslim. I was very happy, and then I realized someone told me he's not Muslim.
Oh.
Damn shame.
Okay.
Shout out to you, Luke Shaw.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go and talk all the Sunday all the matches. It's last day, so all the matches take place at once on Sunday.
Stupidest
we're-
decision I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, that way
It's to
nobody
prevent
can
match
yeah,
fixing.
yeah, which is of course.
Wow,
fine.
you know
Which is
how
a problem.
you know how rampant match fixing must have been for you having to do this.
Well,
Well, Fares, if there's a result earlier in the day or on Saturday that a team facing relegation knows, oh well, if we only, we have to do this to stay up because this team finished with this result. It's much more easier and less complicated and less chance of people arranging like with the other team, like, hey, we really just need to win 1-0 here.
yeah,
Will you let us so we can stay in the Premier League?
Oh,
So
it's a $170 million decision by a squad to do it.
yeah.
Before we talk Sunday, let's hear from our pal Justin about how he can help us out on our Patreon.
Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. As little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
All right.
Awesome. Snark, where should we start?
We're gonna start. Okay, so there's a few places yet to be decided. There was 2 spots yet to be relegated, and there was one European spot that had to be solved on Sunday. So we're gonna start with the first team to get eliminated, and that's Leeds. They lose to Spurs 4-1. I feel bad for Leeds because everybody should be able to beat Spurs. It's just a nice feeling.
Yeah. And I mean, with the way Spurs have played this year, and, Leeds had to have thought they might have had a chance in that game. But no. Harry Kane scored, a minute and a half into the game, and it was kind of over from there.
Yep, he had a brace.
Yeah.
Pedro Porro again.
Yeah, Pedro Porro again. It was a long shot at the beginning of the day, I think, that Leeds were going to stay up.
They had the worst odds. They had the worst odds for sure.
Yeah, but they didn't show up for this game, really.
No. Yeah, well, and that you're as soon as you go down 2 or whatever, you have to press, and it eats you up, and they're not a great squad. So
no.
Yeah. Oh, so Big Sam, another brief appearance as a manager. I think he's managed 400 teams or whatever for a combined total of 405 games or something like that. It's incredible. He just does not stick around.
He managed 4 games for Leeds, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think he got paid $500,000 to do it. Smart. And he just couldn't change what was going on there. And I don't think anybody really thought that he could. Maybe if he'd come in with 10 games left or something, he might have been able to get something out of that team. But I think by the time, there's very little you can do in 4 games, I think, that would have prevented Leeds from being relegated.
Yeah, and at that point, I don't know if they actually truly believe that they could stay out, and that's why they brought in Sam, someone who's willing just to go for 4 games and stuff like that. So yeah. Oh well, see you, Leeds. I'm not gonna cry over you.
No,
but you should have.
I just don't like how they're just blaming the so-called American experiment.
Well, no,
because it's not their fault that your team already sucked in the first place, that barely survived relegation the year prior, and then you're looking for someone else to blame instead of your own organizational failures. You're blaming the so-called American experiment. No,
I
it's
liked
your
Weston McKennie there. Like I thought he did well. No, it's
Tyler
Leeds,
Adams
so,
got hurt. You gonna
yeah.
blame him for getting hurt halfway through the season? It's like miss me with your nose. And they didn't play Brendan Aronson,
No.
and they fired Jesse March weeks ago,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you still stunk.
Yep.
Sam Allardyce was their third manager of the year.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. You need to find another scapegoat for your lost season.
Well, they can do it. They can do it down a level. They can do it
Yeah,
down a
they can
level.
go do
Guys,
it.
we may not hear from Leeds for a while. I think it was Jack Harrison scored the goal for Leeds, right?
Yeah.
So might be the last
Yeah.
Leeds goal in the Premier League for quite some time.
Speaking of promotion relegation, I'm excited to watch Vincent Company at Burnley. By the way,
It's going to be
I'm
interesting.
very
Like,
excited. I'm
like
a big fan of Vincent.
the coaches down there that have been playing him have said that was the best championship level squad they'd ever seen.
Mhm.
So yeah, and they're high tempo offense, offense forward and stuff. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. And I'll talk about it. Well, I could talk about it now. I was going to talk about it in the news, but not a single team that was promoted was relegated this year. It's only the fourth time that's happened in the 32 years.
Shout out to the Watts, the American investors in Burnley.
There you go.
I'm bringing an American tilt to the show right now.
I understand. I see that now.
I'm pro-American right now.
Well, this is being recorded on your Memorial Day weekend, right?
It's true.
We can go a little
On
patriotic for
Memorial.
you guys. There
Yes.
you go. There you go. Next match.
USSR.
Oh my God. Next match. A match that meant nothing. It meant zilch. Southampton and Liverpool. Bunch of goals, 4 each.
Ton of goals in this game.
Yeah.
What is defense? Defense means nothing.
It means nothing. Not on the last day. Everybody's already checked out. They're probably having drinks at halftime. I wouldn't have blamed them. James Ward-Prowse scores a goal. One of the only guys I can think of trying to could still find a home in the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's still an incredible free kicker. Maybe one of the best since Beckham. I'm going to say that. I would imagine he'd be able to find a spot, no problem. But they had a 4-2 lead with 25 minutes and couldn't do it. And essentially, that's why they're going home. They're going down. But they still beat Chelsea twice. God
Roberto
damn it.
Firmino. Firmino scored in his last game for Liverpool.
It'll be his last one ever for them. Yeah.
Bobby F.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he scored the game before as well. So nice way to go out. Nice way to go out for a legend over at that squad. I'm going to say this. I'm not sad to see him go.
Also, James Milner is also gone. That was the last game in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
So James Milner is gone as well.
There's a number of players that will be leaving Liverpool.
There was a question posed on Twitter. Who was the most underrated Premier League player in history? James Milner was one of the 3 that they thought of. And is 3, and the 4th is write-ins, basically. Was James Milner an underrated Premier League player?
He played on good squads.
Yeah, he did. He played on some good teams. He was on Man City. He was on Liverpool. I don't really remember him on any other teams. He contributed a lot to Liverpool when Liverpool sort of got themselves out of once Jurgen Klopp got there and they started to play better. He contributed a lot to that, like that season when they won the Champions League and things like that. So I guess you could say he's one of the most underrated players, but I mean, like, you could probably say that about a lot of different players.
Yeah. First one that jumped in my head was like Gary Cahill and stuff like that. So he was good. He was very good. Good for him. Good career there. But yeah, now we're done with Liverpool. Liverpool is going to be playing in the Europa League. So I hope they enjoy it.
The Europa League.
Yeah.
The losers.
Everyone likes winning trophies.
Yeah, I know, but
Chelsea
Rob,
Chelsea won't be doing that.
Paris just considers everything that's not the Champions League in European competition to be the losers.
Yeah,
because
there's some good squads that show up there.
When did Europa League when was it created?
Well, I don't know. When the Europa League used to be the UEFA Cup, when was the UEFA Cup created? 1971.
The one was the Champions League created. Not because the Champions League evolved from something.
The Champions League was the European Cup. That was created in 1958.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Like,
Hey.
like no, they want to.
No, that's the Euros. Hang on.
That's what that. No, because they want to add another. They want because like they were like, oh, Europe, UEFA, like
1955.
what was that?
The Champions
When the
League
champions
was the European Cup. It was 1955. 1958 was the Euros, not the European Cup.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, like you just want to add like because you're like, oh, Euros is too small. We need to give these other teams that didn't like. We talk about relegation and promotion a lot, right? You have to win to stay in, right? The trophies mean something, and then you want to add like two separate European competitions. Like, how about you fight for Europe Champions League? Fight for it. Don't accept Europa. Don't accept being fifth in your league. Go fight for fourth or third or two.
I think it. Well, you think you because so many teams can just outspend to win. This is why, like Brighton getting European football for the first time in their history, it's a big deal. They would never get this chance against when you have to think who's the top four this year, right? Except like Newcastle, all their money, Man U, so established, Arsenal, of course, and City. Who are you going to compete with there? How are you going to get through? How are you going to break through?
Leicester
When
City
you're size only,
year?
the size when you're
Leicester City.
Yeah, and look at Leicester City now.
1 year. They did it 1 year.
Point.
They had
That's
one incredible year. It was a topsy-turvy year. Yeah,
it was unbelievable year.
But
we'll never see it again.
We're talking, but here's the thing: we're talking about outspending, right? That means the laws and regulations for financial play are not working. Then
they are.
They're not.
Well,
exactly.
It's about the money that you can bring in. When they can bring in the money that these other squads can do, then yes.
So
but
it's
they have to
basically
start
like
bringing that money.
It's called but no, don't they do revenue sharing in the Premier League?
No,
they don't do revenue sharing.
No, they get an amazingly huge contract to broadcast their games, split between the teams. That's why we're talking about the teams that are getting promoted, and they talk about that playoff game, that championship playoff game.
Million.
Yeah, is the most expensive game, the most lucrative game in sports, just because they go from the championship level to.
Because it's not just 200 million. It's not just $200 million next season, Paris. Even if they go down, it's $200 million for an additional 2 seasons after that.
Yeah.
No, I understand that, but I'm talking about like the revenue, right? So they're being given money, like Sky, BBC, or NBC, right? They're given this revenue, and are they not evenly distributing it to everybody?
Yes. Yeah,
they are.
That's stuff.
You've got like smaller teams that make it into the Premier League, and their stadium is not as big as, say, the Emirates.
So ticket sales, jersey sales.
It's merchandising is a huge deal.
Kit sponsorships.
Being
able to bring in just other sponsors for the club. Period. Like a lot of that, like goes to the bigger teams that have been established in the Premier League for decades.
Okay. That's why you think when you think about the shirt sponsorships, I think of Forest not being able to have a shirt sponsorship for the first half of the year or something like that, and then eventually when they did, it's a charity. They got, I think it was UNICEF or whatever, so they didn't even pay for it.
Like back in the day when Arsenal had the famous O2 logo on the chest, the O2 was giving them money for the O2, and they were just raking in cash because of that.
Yes. Yeah. Like right now for Arsenal, it's Emirates Airlines. They've got the sponsorship on the stadium because it's Emirates Stadium. They've got the sponsorship on the kit. It's a lot of money that comes from that sponsorship. If they were to lose that sponsorship, they'd have to find a sponsor that would replace that.
And they don't share.
They're more likely to they don't share that. They're more likely to get another sponsor like that or similar to that because they're a bigger club than, say, Nottingham Forest or Bournemouth or whoever, because they're not considered one of necessarily the big six, as they like to say.
Chevy will not advertise on one of the smaller companies that they're only going to get 50,000 eyes on them. They're going to advertise with a big, like they were Man U's shirt sponsor forever.
So
they would get hundreds of millions of views.
Yeah, Chevy. I remember that, the famous Chevy logo. So Rob, I think me and Adelia were talking about this last night about the Bayern Munich Dortmund disparity, where Bayern Munich is being sponsored by Allianz, Adidas.
Yep.
Which one was it? Audi. So those people right there are giving those three sponsors are giving them money, and that's millions upon millions just by those three.
Yep.
Those three.
Yeah.
And then apparently because of those three sponsorships, they used their sponsorships as a way of paying the stadium loan. They paid it 16 years earlier. They took out a loan. They sold stock to Audi, and they sold stock to Adidas, and then they sold stock to Allianz, who helped them make the loan. So they basically said the loan now is void because you have stock in our team. They all three of them own 8%, 8.3%, Adelia?
Something like that, yeah.
All of them own 8.3% of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So that they have a vested interest in the team, actually.
Yeah, we pulled up the Deloitte Money League numbers, and like Bayern's got like twice as much revenue as Dortmund. Like that's for a lot of reasons, and sponsorships is one of them.
Yep.
So it's
history. There's all kinds.
So
of
they share the TV revenue. They don't share any other revenue.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know that because I didn't.
That's why the bigger clubs are more likely to be able to invest in new players that are better players, because better players cost more money. Like you have to be really careful and sell players to finance other players when you're at a smaller club and stuff like that. So
basically Europa isn't the losers league. It's we're not the rich league.
But sometimes, the rich go in and just win it. I think Chelsea's won it twice.
Yeah, that's because when the rich are not having a good year.
Well, if you finish third in the Champions League group stage, you go into the Europa League knockout stage.
Yep.
So.
All right, so I think I've changed my opinion on the Europa League, but I won't change. But I won't change my opinion on the Conference League. Okay?
No, you don't have to do that. That's fine. That's fine.
The Conference League is 2 years old. Like it's brand new. They did it so that they could get teams from smaller countries into European competition, and then we have a Conference League final this year between West Ham and Fiorentina.
Yeah,
like it's just the way it is.
Like, those are the losers.
Small community clubs.
Those are losers.
Community clubs.
I will accept Europa being something else, but confederations, losers.
Conference,
the conference league. Yeah,
whatever.
The conference league. It's whatever.
Losers.
It's whatever. It's another competition. No one's ever watched the match. I don't think ever there.
I've never seen one.
Not outside of Europe.
Where do you watch it? I think it's probably on Paramount Plus somewhere.
Oh,
probably.
Oh, I have no idea. Anyways, let's move on, because this is supposed to be the last day of school edition. We're already half hour and we barely touched anything. Palace and Forest. Forest go up one, and of course because they're on the road they can't hold it, and it's a draw. It's whatever. Forest just couldn't win on the road. They couldn't win. They couldn't win on the road. Awoniyi scores again for Forest. What a season he's had. At least the second half of the season. I really like that kid. And Will Hughes scores for Palace. Palace much better after getting rid of your little buddy.
Yeah, I'm still somewhat surprised that Roy Hodgson got them scoring goals again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Something had to change with Palace. I don't know that they necessarily would have been relegated had Patrick Vieira stayed, just because the teams that ended up relegated were so bad.
Yeah.
But I understand why they made the change to
they had
ensure
really
that didn't happen.
They really did flatline for a little while, and they looked much better with Roy Boy is back. I don't know if he's going to be there next year. He's just 73 years old, I believe. At the current time, he's So does he want to do this again? We'll see. I'm sure they'll have him back. They have no problem with that. Let's move on. I don't know if this is a surprising result, guys, but Brentford beat City. City has lost
both games.
They lost both games against Brentford this year, didn't they?
Yep. There's only 5 teams that have done this now, I guess, against them. In this run they've had that they've only lost. Yeah, and they've just joined the club. I'm
not super surprised. This was at Brentford. City had nothing to play for. They probably were resting. I didn't see the lineup, but they probably were resting players again. So I'm not really all that surprised. Brentford does have people to score goals that are not named Ivan Toney. There were some journalists that were saying that Ivan Toney was standing in the tunnel watching the Brentford lap of honor with tears in his eyes because he couldn't be out there because he's banned from all football stuff for 8 months.
Then why is he allowed to be there?
He can be at the stadium. He
Yeah,
just can't be
he
involved.
can't work out. Yeah, he can't be involved with the team. Like he can't be a part of practice. He can't be there on the bench. He can't do anything like that. But
Yeah, and he
I'm sure he can
can't
be
out on
around.
the pitch.
He can be around his teammates. Like they're even going to
Yeah.
let him practice for. Like he gets to practice again in September, ahead of a January start. So
It's so dumb.
yeah, and I was reading this week, and more stuff had come out, and he had actually bet on 13 of his own matches. 13
Oh my god.
of his own matches.
Okay, not entirely true.
Okay.
He bet
wasn't it?
on Newcastle while he was
Oh,
on loan away from Newcastle
right. Yeah.
for Newcastle to lose.
Yeah, he wasn't actually available to make a difference in the
Yeah.
thing. Like he wasn't
Oh,
actively
he was
able to make a difference.
Oh, he was not in the game.
Yeah.
No, he was on loan at another team.
Yeah.
Wait,
Still.
wait. What?
Ivan Toney
Have
used
you
to
not
play for
heard any of this?
Newcastle.
Okay, he used to play for
Yeah.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And when he was on loan away from Newcastle, I don't remember where he was on loan at, but he was on loan. While he was on loan, he bet for Newcastle to lose 13 times.
In one season, I think. I think it was
Yeah.
I think they said the 2017-18
You think
season.
you think that was a jilted lover betting?
He bet 263 times or something like that on football matches.
On football.
And 13 of them were against his team while he was on loan.
The team that was paying him.
And he got his suspension reduced by 7 months because they decided he has a gambling addiction. I don't know. I would think that's not
This
a reason to reduce his suspension
No.
by 7 months.
No.
It shouldn't. It should. You should have kept
Pete
him out.
Rose,
You should-
Pete Rose is the greatest hitter in baseball history. Will never be in the
well,
Hall of Fame because
that's a
he
stretch.
bet the greatest hitter. I don't think that's a question.
That's
And he's gone. He's gone for life. That was a life. They gave these guys. They gave him
Yeah.
8 months. They gave him 8 months
They gave
as an
Ivan
active
time.
participant. He was a man.
I mean, 8 months of matches. He can start practicing with the team in
Yeah.
September.
Yeah,
It's
incredible.
It's dumb.
Yeah, it's
It's
incredible.
dumb.
What a talent!
He's
Like,
a very good player.
Yeah, come January, I'd be.
And
We
like,
could sign.
it was the
Tony.
dumbest thing because everyone knew the suspension was coming. Everyone knew that he was going to be banned 4 months, and they still put him in the last England squad.
Yep.
It's so stupid.
I'm
Yeah,
cool with
and-
that.
and
No, but
really
I'm cool with
nothing.
that
It's- there was
decision
really
because
nothing
that
to ask,
decision got the Americans Flo Balogun.
I mean, that's true. But
Shout out to Flo Balogun.
Oh my god.
anyways,
All right. What's
Good
another
for
match? Yeah, we'll go on to another match. Yeah, just a loss for City, kind of stumbling towards the thing, but at half speed. Who really cares? It doesn't matter, guys. It
Yeah.
really doesn't matter. Man U beats Fulham, and so Fulham loses. That's nice. It's
Yeah.
Sancho and Fernandez scoring for them. Mitro back at Old Trafford for the first time since shoving a ref, and should never have come back to this thing anyways. But
yeah.
has
Not allowed
another penalty and misses.
Yeah.
That's the 4th penalty he's missed this year, and that sets a new record. So there's that.
Yeah.
History at Old Trafford.
This result combined with Newcastle's result solidified 3rd and 4th place in the Premier League.
Yep.
Man United finished as 3rd. Congrats to them or whatever. They're in the Champions League.
It didn't matter. It just
They-
means
they
different
had-
pot. It's a different.
Yeah, they had a fine season.
It was
For the
considering
way
their
it started,
start.
they had a fine season.
Man, Peter Schmeichel ain't walking through that door, you bunch of losers.
Oh my god!
All right.
Wow. That's
And
an
Paul
attack.
Scholes ain't showing up. All right. Rio Ferdinand ain't here.
Oh my goodness.
Neither is David
gracious.
Beckham. Y'all need to remember that, United people. I'm just
Funny.
trolling.
It'd be funny if Bex. They should bring Bex back.
You know what? They should just
I
bring
know.
back Paul Scholes. Hey, yo, Paul,
Oh
you
my
want to play? Roy Keane is too busy talking about you.
That's true. That is true. Let's move on to a match that meant
The lesser
something.
Gary won't shut up about y'all.
Oh my god. Well, a match that meant something.
I'm never gonna
and
be
that's-
invited back in my.
Yeah, all the time. No, you don't worry about it.
Right.
Villa wins. Villa beats Brighton
Yeah.
2-1. And because Tottenham loses,
Tottenham won.
or sorry, it didn't matter because Villa just wins or whatever, gets in to the number 7 spot, and they're going to be playing in Ferris's favorite competition, the Europa Conference.
The Europa
League.
Conference League.
God, what the? Oh,
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm happy for Villa that they got European football out of the season because they were so much better after Unai Emery came in.
Yep.
And completely changed around the fortunes of that club, because the way Steven Gerrard had them going, they could have been relegated.
Awful.
They were terrible.
Oh, that's who the legend was coaching them.
Yeah.
Legend.
I mean, Liverpool legend. I don't know about.
The Liverpool
Made
legend.
my stomach upset there. A nice end to the season for Dennis Undav. He scored a goal, had another one pulled back, but he scored a goal against a certain team. We don't have to talk about that. A couple weeks ago,
Chelsea
in the last week or so. Nope. Yeah,
with another goal.
Ollie Watkins scores again. I like the way he played this year. Douglas Luiz, so good for them. I'm glad to see.
Ollie Watkins needed to score a goal after that atrocious penalty he took last week. God.
Yeah.
Just shanked it.
Yeah. Not great. It looked like Salah's. It looked like Salah's miss, just on the other side. But yeah, I'm glad to see Villa get in there. I'm glad to see Tottenham not playing in Europe too. Like if we can't,
I'm very happy about that.
I have to take solace in something here, guys. At least
there's a holiday that Arsenal fans like to say, but I just forgot the holiday because
St. Totteringham's Day.
St. Totteringham's Day. I love that day.
That is the day when it is mathematically impossible for Tottenham to pass Arsenal on the table.
That happened a month ago.
We passed that a while ago.
Very nice.
I just wanted to bring it up again.
Well,
we finished, let's see, Tottenham had 60 points. Arsenal finished on 84 points. We had 24 more points than Tottenham this year.
Every team should have a holiday that's like our holiday.
Well, yeah. How many more points did you guys get this year than last year?
20.
24 points or something like that? 22?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about your match quick. We got the two Gooners here. We got Arsenal 5 against a woeful Wolverhampton Wanderers who have been who just haven't given a shit over the last month and a half. 5-0.
Yeah.
Were you guys ever worried?
No.
About them coming back in this?
Nope.
No. It was like it was Granit Xhaka scored 2 goals in like 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a great chance for a first half hat trick that he didn't quite get. But we had a goal called back in that game as well. So we actually had the ball in the net 6 times.
Yeah.
So Andre Mariner's final game as a referee. He is retiring. Good riddance.
Get out of here.
Saka scored a beautiful goal. Jakub Kivior with his first goal for the club.
There you go.
Hey, speaking of Jakub Kivior came into the league halfway through the season, scores 1 goal.
Yep.
Richarlison has played the entire year, has 1 goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jakub Kivior significantly smaller price tag than Richarlison's price tag as well, but they do play very different positions.
Mm-hmm. Gabby Azes, of course, the guy that I predicted would win the Golden Boot this year.
Didn't happen.
Nope. Did not happen. Now, Granit Xhaka, guys, is that his last game?
Yep, that's his last game.
Certainly feels that way.
Yeah.
Certainly feels that way.
Have you heard any rumors where he could go?
Yeah, there is. The deals haven't been finalized. That's why they're not talking about it publicly. But the rumor out there is that he's going to Germany and he's playing for Bayern Leverkusen.
Oh, Leverkusen.
Bayer Leverkusen. So there was that one. That's the rumor. It hasn't been confirmed. The reports are leading that way.
He was very emotional.
He'll be a big fish there.
He's very emotional.
He was pretty emotional coming off the pitch when he was subbed off.
So he's definitely leaving.
He's definitely leaving.
He's gone.
Is he the best Swiss player you guys ever had?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I would think so. I just think there's a very small pool to it.
The only other Swiss players I can think of that have played for Arsenal while I've been a fan are Philippe Senderos.
Yeah.
And Johan Juru.
No.
And Granit Xhaka is miles better than both of them.
Sure. And he had a
Granit Xhaka the
season
best Muslim footballer that's ever played for us?
Ooh, no. I don't know about that.
No.
Mesut Ozil.
Mesut Ozil. Is that? Yes.
88 goals, I think, for you guys this year. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We played our traditional 4-3-3.
Mm-hmm.
We played actually Thomas Partey in the back line.
Yeah, it's party time.
Thomas Partey played right back.
Yeah. And Ben White played his primary center back position, even though he can play
And-
right and center.
yeah.
So we played Trossard at Martinelli's left side.
Left side. Left side
Yes,
winger.
left side. So Trossard wearing the famous Santi Cazorla number. Shout out to you, Santi. Love you.
Mm.
19.
Bukayo Saka got subbed off in this game after getting a couple of really bad kicks to his Achilles. He already had an Achilles injury.
Oh shit!
He's played 80 consecutive Premier League matches for Arsenal.
What a show off! What a
80,
show off!
80 consecutive. The streak started 3 years ago, probably halfway through the season, and has been continued for the past 2 years. So that's great for him. And by the way, for Bukayo Saka, he is staying with us for an extra 4 more years.
Yeah, signed a contract
And
to extend his stay.
It was a beautiful video they made, and you know what? I just want a hug from Ian Wright. I want him to hug me. I want to hug Ian Wright so bad. He's amazing.
Goodness.
He is what a club legend should be. The way he just loves the team. He loves it. He knows what's wrong. He knows. He probably talks about what's wrong with the club.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't blast them on the world. He shows, but he's our star boy, and Ian Wright knows he's our star boy, and the way the love on Bukayo Saka during that video was man. Oh God, man, I want to meet Ian Wright so bad. Also, too, speaking of him getting kicked in the Achilles, Bukayo Saka doesn't get reffed properly in the English Premier League. By the way, that man gets kicked in his legs repeatedly, and it's getting to the point where I'm getting annoyed, and it's not okay.
I think you've noticed that it happens to quite a few people.
Yeah, I know, but the man once was literally the ball wasn't even nowhere near Bukayo Saka, and the dude, I think it was against, I don't know, a team was wearing a blue jersey, probably Chelsea or Brighton, I don't know. They just kick his leg. The ball is nowhere near him. They just kick his leg, and you just see.
It was probably
Saka,
Everton. It was probably Everton.
Probably them too.
Might have been Everton, yeah.
And you just see Saka fly to the ground, grabbing his leg. And I'm like, dude, what the dirtiness is this?
So, second place finish for Arsenal, a huge improvement.
Only 5 points off City, considering where we were last year, when I think we were close to 20 points off City. I'm very happy about it. So
yeah, you guys had 67 points or something like that last
69.
year.
We had 69 points last
year.
I
had a week to digest it. I don't think the same way as last week. We had a great season. I think we would have won the league if injuries didn't riddle us. And Adelia pointed out Takahiro Tomoyasu, as well as William Saliba.
Saliba was a big
those were the big ones.
It was in the same game too.
Yeah.
So we had
against Sporting Lisbon. But I think the Saliba one was a little bit more like hurtful because we had Ben White, who took over Tomoyasu pretty well. But he's not really a fullback. He's a center back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Ben White is. But he could play it, which is pretty nice.
See, the reason why I say that the Tomiyasu injury was probably the more impactful injury in this regard is because if Saliba goes down, we can put Ben White at center back and have Tomiyasu play right back.
That's true. But either or, Ben White would have popped in either one. So if Tomiyasu goes down and Saliba doesn't, Ben White plays Tomiyasu's position.
Saliba is a bigger loss than Tomiyasu was.
That's right. That's what I said.
But I mean, like for the starting lineup, but the more impactful one to us losing the defensive structure we had was because we couldn't adjust because Tomiyasu also got injured.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think we should bolster the back line with some good, right back, center back depth. Jacob Kivior was pretty good depth. I just don't expect him to he's not a starter, but Kivior
he shouldn't start.
Yeah. No, the Saliba and Gabriel are our starting center back duo. Ben White on the right hand side, I think, has done phenomenally well this year. He was one of I think we had 4 players play every game in the Premier League this year. Ben White was one of them. I just think that Rob Holding will be moved on. We'll get another center back in to fill that role, and Yeah.
Kieran
You guys know where to get your you guys know the problems at least. You guys know
Yeah.
this is what we have to look at. We need to build up our depth on
we
the back.
need we're gonna get midfielders because Granit Xhaka's leaving. Kieran Tierney apparently the report is Newcastle wants him, so he's probably gonna go to Newcastle. Good for him. Whatever. But yeah, we need Ben White. You know what Ben White is? Ben White has become a defender. You know,
he is a defender.
But you know what I mean? Like some people are like, oh, I can only play center back. You know what I mean? Like I can't play the fullback positions. He can be like, you want to put me at fullback? Right, left? I got you. Play at center? Cool. I'll play defense.
I wouldn't put him at left back.
Oh, well, no,
I'd never put him at left back.
Why? What's wrong? They basically do the same thing, just on the left side.
He's right-footed. I wouldn't put him at left back.
Oh, okay. Got you. I know what you meant. Perfect. You're right. Completely correct, Adelia. So you play him at defense. You put him at center, or you play him at left. He plays defense. But you don't put William Saliba at left back. You don't do that. You know what I mean? You just don't do that. That makes no sense. So Ben White could be our Swiss Army knife.
I mean, I don't know what William Saliba at left back would look like.
That's true. We don't. True.
So
you know what?
You just don't have to force,
Why not?
Yeah, we just
square
we
pegs
just need
into
more
round
depth.
holes.
We just need
Look
more
at
depth
Chelsea.
there, so we don't have
Look
a
at Chelsea.
situation this year.
Yeah, we need depth. We just need depth.
Yeah.
That's why some of the
the midfield is going to look a little different next year because Granit Xhaka is leaving. There's rumors Emile Smith Rowe might be leaving. Somebody said that they think Thomas Partey might be sold, which I just can't see happening.
I don't see it. I don't see that at all.
That makes no sense.
Somebody said that we might have to sell Thomas Partey to fund being able to buy like Caicedo and Declan Rice. I still don't think we'd do that.
I think you guys are going to make a big push for Declan Rice. I think that's without question. Caicedo,
competition from Bayern Munich for Declan Rice.
He's going to stay in England.
Yeah.
There's actually there's actually a development in the Declan Rice sweepstakes.
What's that?
So apparently Bayern Munich is in the running as well now, and they're willing to give West Ham 90 million.
That's still less than what West Ham wants.
Yeah.
Somebody, it's just a Premier League's going to buy him. I think that's what I don't. He also has to say, he still has that year remaining.
He has a preference.
His
preference is Arsenal.
He
said that, but Bayern Munich showing up out of nowhere. I think Bayern Munich just dared to drive up his price.
I think the
Bayern Munich interest is. I think the Bayern Munich interest is a lie because Bayern Munich doesn't need him.
No. No. But I worry about what that would do. Declan Rice as a defensive to offensive midfielder for Arsenal, heading that back line and moving forward is it's a little terrifying for me as a Chelsea fan. I can say that, considering I have no idea where our squad's going. Chelsea drew with Newcastle, which is a shock to me.
Newcastle.
No. Anthony Gordon scores in front of his old skipper. I remember him very much wanting to go to Chelsea and him being blocked by Lamps. And now, he scores against us. But then, and of course, in all kinds of 22-23 Chelsea fashion, the goal we get is from Raheem Sterling putting it at net. It would have gone wide, except for Kieran Trippier's leg hitting it, and then him pushing it in with his hand. So the last Chelsea goal, an own goal by Newcastle. Afterwards, Lamps was talking about how the rate for Chelsea players have just gone down and stuff like that. And it's like, one of your jobs is to fucking build that up, Lamps.
Yeah.
Like you weren't doing anything. You were trying to connect to people on a personal level. It's like, no, this is a sports. You have to connect with them on a physical level. You got to get these people to move. The laziest club I've watched in all my years cheering for this club. Fumble, just lazy. The passing in that game was atrocious, missing by miles and putting so much pace on things. Like Havertz had a play in for Gallagher. They're within 8 feet of each other, it should be, well, I wouldn't say it's an easy tip in because it's Conor Gallagher in front of the net. So, it could have been a struggle for him to hit the net if he would have had a chance, but Havertz hits it as hard as he can and goes past him. Like, this is what Chelsea was all year. So Chelsea, at least, I think they know now what they need. Well, first thing what they need is they need to sell so many players. There's 31 players on this goddamn squad. You got to get rid of so many, loan the other ones out, try and get some money back in. You guys don't have Champions League football. You don't have European football, period. So you don't have that extra revenue coming in. We have to get rid of these guys just for financial fair play. So we've seen the last. I'm sure we've seen the last of Pulisic, even though Lamps kept putting him out for whatever reason. I don't know, whatever. We've seen the last Ziyech. We've seen the last of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We've seen, of course, Dave. That was his last game as captain. I am shocked that Lampard didn't
What's his real name,
bring
Rob?
him out. Is that
What's his real name?
Cesar Azpilicueta?
Just
We call him Dave. There's a song. There's an entire song about it.
how do you get Dave? Like, I just don't understand. Like, how do you get Dave?
We'll call him Dave. We'll call him Dave. Azpilicueta, we'll call him Dave.
How do you look at that name and say, you know what, guys? Let's call him Dave.
I have no idea. I'm not the one who can call him Dave.
Chelsea scored 38 goals in 38
A goal
games.
a game. A goal a game for the Chelsea goddamn football club.
Yeah.
Damn, Erling Haaland only had 2 less than you.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing.
That's crazy.
This is yeah. And some of those are own goals. Like, it wasn't even Chelsea guys credited.
So really, like, y'all scored like 30 if you think about it.
Maybe. Yep.
Damn. So Erling Haaland probably had more goals than you.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can believe it. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, they were terrible. So we know what we have to do. There's a bunch of players coming in and stuff like that. A bunch of young guys going out. Mason Mount. Let's talk Mason Mount because there was rumors first off about him going to Arsenal, but it's very much, I think, a done deal that he's going to go to United. And it's going to be a shame because he's played so well for us, except for this year. He was our player of the year 2 years in a row. Yeah, and an academy kid. Like selling him, we're selling him for pure profit, which is one thing. But you give up
Selling
he's just
an
so young. He's
academy
so
kid.
young. Yeah.
Selling an academy kid
Well,
that you saw play on the first team, it's kind of hurtful.
Yeah. Well,
Kinda.
and we're selling Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We're just selling guys that, but they have to go. They have to go because we signed all
man,
these
it's like-
other
it's like
players
if
for
we-
7 goddamn years.
It's like if we sold any
Cucurella.
kid, yeah, that'd be
Ugh.
half heartbreaking.
Is there a worse signing? Well, maybe Richarlison. We talked Richarlison is a terrible signing. I would think that the worst signing of the year. Well, there's 2. Cucurella. Mark Cucurella was
Horrible
a mess. Yeah. 60
For you?
million. 60 million. 63 million
Yes.
we paid for this guy. Gave him a 6-year contract. Oh God. I'm glad that bully's like out of the contract thing. He's like done. We have a sporting director now and stuff like that. Just let them take care of it. Kalidou Koulibaly, awful. I'm glad he's been hurt. But yeah,
Very good in the
even a
World
guy
Cup.
like yeah, he was good in the World Cup. Great, doesn't help me. Wesley Fofana, who we also picked up this year, and late. But we get Wes Fofana. He gets hurt, of course, and misses a bunch of time. He comes back in, and he looks good. But the last few games he's been in, he has been a wreck. And just giveaway after giveaway. He's handing out assists to the other team left and right. It's been his decision making brutal. I can't wait because, well, we're going to go into news. Pochettino finally officially announced as the head coach coming up on a 3-year max contract, not this 5-year thing that they gave Potter, and probably not the 60 million either. Well, probably close. 2 years and then a team option for a third. So
Are those common
Gotta
in
do
world
something.
football?
2-year or 5-year deals
No,
for
team
managers?
options, like team options.
I think so.
How common are they?
Well, as common as they are probably in North American sports.
They're pretty common, like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
It's always like that. Yeah.
No, because world football operates on a different like money scale, and they got you're transferring money between countries. where like it's like 100 point, like I know like there's the euro, then there's the pound.
Yeah.
It throws everything off.
Yep.
Because everyone in Europe does the euro, but then when you have to operate in England, you gotta also have pounds, and it throws everything else.
I think they have their own league. Yeah. No, I think it's fairly common. Anyways, lots of changes. Chelsea needs a defensive midfielder and of course a striker. And like you said, Nkuku's coming. Lukaku's there, which I hope we just we give him the wrong address or something like that, and he never shows up. Hopefully Milan just said no, we just want him. Maybe they can beat City or something. I don't know. We just want Lukaku. Give us Lukaku. It's like
they
need
to start Lukaku against City.
Yep, they got to do something.
They need to.
They've done well. They know what they're doing over there. Let's keep moving because I'm just gonna get more upset talking about Chelsea.
Yeah,
and
Rob,
a terrible year.
I was laughing earlier. I was laughing at your pain.
Yeah, I understand, and I appreciate that very much. Let's go. 2 more matches. The two that really do count. Leicester, West Ham. Leicester goes up early. Everton scoreless through the first half. So Everton was 45 minutes away from being relegated. Leicester go and do all they can. They went 2-1. Again, West Ham is another team that was just playing half speed. They got something else. They got the glorious and wondrous Europa Conference League final coming up on June 7th. So why not rest everybody you can? Because it's so important. David Moyes' job is secure, at least until then. We don't know. We don't know if he's going to be after that. But they didn't get relegated, and they made a final. More than a bunch of people can say, including Leicester. Leicester going down. Not 7 years since winning the Premier League.
Yeah.
Because Everton does get a goal in the second half, and it's Doucouré. And it was a good goal. Kind of a
really good goal.
Yeah, he had just a little bit of space in beside a defender and the goaltender, and finds the net. And goes apart, goes crazy. But it was a shitty match. Like honestly, like Everton, every time anybody was around them, they would just flop. They were looking for the refs' help all match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an embarrassment. It was an embarrassment to watch. Like, and to the refs' credit, he wasn't buying it. He knew he could see this stuff. Like anything in the box, and these guys would fall or go straight down. And
I think Damari Gray dove in the box at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, no, it was like
pretty bad.
Plan.
Yeah,
beautiful goal though by
Connor
Doucouré.
Cody. Beautiful goal by Doucouré, and then Connor Cody with a block on the line. Jordan Pickford had a good save late in that game as well.
And he was into it. He was into it with guys too. Yeah. Again, almost getting in fights. Like you have guys rushing in, yellow cards coming and stuff like that.
Well, I understand why he was kind of getting into it with Solanke because Solanke basically drug him to the ground.
Yeah.
After the ball had been cleared away. I understand why that one happened.
It seems to happen to Jordan Pickford more than anybody else, though, when it comes to keepers getting involved. It always seems to be Jordan Pickford involved.
Yeah.
But congratulations to them. The Toffees stay up. Sean, not Sam Dyche, getting the job done. Takes over a squad that was garbage under Lampard.
Yeah.
I know how that feels. And they're going to be around.
Sean Dyche saying after the game that when he took over the club, everyone said the club was broken. The club isn't broken. There are cracks, but they're not broken.
Yep.
I think they have a lot of work to do to not end up in this position again next year.
Is this the second year in a row they got saved? The last day.
It was not the last day last year. It was the week before because they played Arsenal on the last day last year.
Right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Toffee's still in. I think when was the last time? Has the Toffees ever been relegated?
I think they said. Let me look
in the Premier League era. In the Premier League era,
they've never been relegated from the Premier League.
Right. Good for them.
I want to say they've been in the top flight for, or the top division for a very long time.
Yeah.
They're the club with the second longest continuous presence in English top flight football. They've been in the top division for a record 120 seasons, having only missed 4 of them in the top flight. So they've been up since 1954-55.
Yeah, that was the year that I think Chelsea won the league that year, and then they had to wait until 2005 to do it again, or 2004. But whatever.
You were there, weren't you, Rob?
How
Live?
dare you, sir? How incredibly dare you?
How was it in 1955?
That was hurtful. Anyways, so yes, we know who now is gone. We are done.
Yeah.
We are done with our regular season here.
Leicester City, by the way, became the second Premier League club to ever win the league and then be relegated after Blackburn.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
the Rovers.
The Rovers. Yeah. How are they doing? Whoever hears of Blackburn.
Where are the Rovers?
I don't know if they're in the championship of the 3rd division. I will look.
The Rovers.
Let's talk while you're doing that.
The second ever Premier League champion.
Yeah. Well,
before the
1992 was that the first year of the Premier League? 1993.
No, 92. Yes, then they won in 93.
Right.
Blackburn finished 7th in the championship this year.
No.
So they're in the championship.
Good for them.
One
let's talk
position
about
off of the playoff. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Coventry, I believe, was in 5th spot.
Yes.
And had a shot of making it through. Let's talk about the 3 clubs going up. Congratulations again to Burnley.
Pure domination.
We talked about, yes.
Pure, unmitigated domination.
They're a team that might be able, I don't think, compete for European placings, but compete for top 10
I don't think they get relegated next year, though.
Oh, no. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so either. There's just some bad teams that still made it up that I have a feeling could come down quicker.
They were, I think Burnley was promoted with like three weeks left in the championship season.
Maybe
I
more.
think
Burnley won the championship by 10 points. So
yeah, they were
for a while.
They were up for a while. Sheffield United is going to join them. That was the second best club in the championship. Yep. Good for them. Not to be confused with Sheffield Wednesday,
who are also getting promoted.
One of my all-time favorite team names. But yes, there was one other spot.
Sheffield Wednesday's going up to the championship, by the way.
Yep.
Good for
Just
them.
to clarify Fares' comment.
Oh, yeah. Yes. They're going to the championship, not the Premier League.
Yes.
Sheffield Wednesday, by the way, one of the original members of the Premier League.
Yeah. As was this club. Luton Town beats Coventry.
Luton Town was not an original member.
Luton Town was
a member of
the top
in
the Premier League.
Supposed to be.
They voted.
But
they're one of the 20 teams that voted for the Premier League. They got demoted the year before. So they're actually one of the teams that actually, one of the 20 original teams to vote for it, but they've never played in it.
Yeah.
They will now after. Would you say an emotional kicks at the end of the game?
I would say that was pretty emotional. The penalty kicks at the end of this game were incredible. Like they were 11 consecutive penalty kicks made.
Talk about how bad those goalies were.
World class kicks. These were
amazing penalty kicks.
Yeah.
And then Fankati Dabo.
Yeah.
Shanks it.
Poor guy looked terrified as he walked up to it.
Yeah.
And he put it over, and Luton Town wins.
You could see the emotion, what that meant, not just for the team and probably the city in there in Coventry, but just to him. Like, to see a grown man cry like that on a pitch it's always sad to see. But in the same breath,
Ethan Horvath losing his mind.
The absolute joy that you saw from Luton Town and their supporters. Luton Town going in there, they play out of Kenilworth Road, 10,356 seats.
We have some photos of Kenilworth Road. Let me put this up here. Here's Kenilworth Road.
Look, it's so beautiful.
And I think, what were we talking about this before, Adelia? It looks like the racetrack or whatever that Wrexham plays out of.
The race course ground, yeah.
The race course, yeah.
And then you can enter the stadium by going underneath people's houses.
Unbelievable. So they need 10 million £10 million in renovations to the stadium just to be fit for the Premier League. They get 170 million just for getting in there. So I think they'll
do it.
I think they'll be okay. They'll be just fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I just hope they don't play anywhere else. I hope they play all the
they
matches
need to
there.
stay there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah.
It's like Unan Berlin Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Their stadium's Union.
Yeah.
No, but it's pronounced Union because it's German, I guess.
It might be, but it's easier to just say Union Berlin.
Union Berlin.
Yep.
Their stadium is in the woods.
Yeah.
Literally, Rob, you have to walk through the woods to get to the stadium.
It's magical.
Like where you take a train to a stop, but you get off the train, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you still have to like walk 30 minutes to this. And then when you're walking through woods, like it's like you're about to get murdered in the woods. But then there's like a little light at the end of the tunnel. It's the light of the stadium. And you walk it.
Out of every 11 fans get eaten by a bear.
Probably. I don't know. I hope not. But yeah, dude, some of these stadiums in world football are just amazing. You have the cathedrals. You have the cathedrals of Camp Nou, the Bernabeu, Old Trafford, even though it's run down, needs more upgrades. Like Anfield, the San Siro. Like you see these these cathedrals, you're like, oh my god, look at this cathedral. But then you have those like little small, little tiny stadiums. Those Luton Towns. Those
you get more for high school football in America.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like I saw the high school stadium in Allen, Texas. The school that Kyler Murray played. It's bigger than Luton Town by a country mile.
Kenilworth Road current capacity is 10,356.
Yeah, incredible.
You have to walk.
I can't wait. I can't wait
above
the
backyards. Of
I'm watching the first game.
Houses to get into the.
I'm watching the first game.
Yeah.
We should watch it. We should watch it all together.
Sure. As happy as I was to see Forest back, I'm going to be very happy to see Luton come and play. Now, I don't expect them. I think they will be very briefly.
They'll be favorites.
They got their jackpot. They got their jackpot. Yeah. Congratulations. They can't lose. They might not be in the Premier League after that, but they can't lose.
Luton Town is the first team to come from the non-league where they were 9 years ago, all the way to the Premier League. It's crazy.
What a job they've done there.
9 years.
Congratulations to Luton Town. A couple other things before we start wrapping up here. We're going, wow, this is. I wanted to be like the end of school one, and this is going to be our biggest episode ever. EPL player and young player of the year, Erling Haaland. First time that's ever happened. We talked Poch. Guys, do you have a player of the year? Do you have a manager of the year? And do you have a goal of the year?
Oh, a goal of the year. Oh, I have a goal of the year.
Sure. What you got?
Reece Nelson at death against was it Bournemouth?
It's 100% what.
Yeah.
That's the one I picked for Adelia for sure. I was sure it was going to be Reece Nelson.
That was mine as well.
Yeah. And out of nowhere, Reece Nelson.
I think he came on like the 70th minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was a sub. He just showed. By the way, Reece Nelson staying at Arsenal for 4 more years.
Apparently, it's not signed yet.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, that's the report. Sorry, it's not public. So yeah,
got to keep a spot on that bench.
He's also one of the academy kids. You want to keep some of your academy kids.
100%.
Yeah. So yeah, him at death against Bournemouth. That was nice.
Against Bournemouth. That was definitely my goal of the season. Although that Julio Enciso goal was pretty special too.
Yeah, right at the end too. One of the last goals of the year. Incredible. Mine, Mo Salah to beat Man City.
That was a good one.
Just the long stretching pass, and him just turning Cancelo inside out to go. Yeah. And I think as much, the goal is nice. But what a contentious match that was. I think Klopp got a match ban or whatever for going at the fourth officials and stuff like that. It was a great game, one of the most entertaining matches of the year, and a great finish to end it. I think that's the game that really kind of turned around Liverpool's season as well. Yeah. It's always good when you beat City.
By the way, that's the goal that made them ship Cancelo to Germany.
Yeah. All right.
Cancelo getting winners' medals in England and Germany this year. It's crazy.
Doing his own Kingsley Coleman impression.
Yep. You have a player of the year?
Player of the year has to be Erling
It's
Haaland.
Erling Haaland.
It's Erling
As
Haaland.
much as I hate
yeah.
to say it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anybody
He
to
helped
say any different.
contribute to a 16-game unbeaten streak that was what won City the title in the end. And yeah, so.
Yep. Such a rare player, that big, that strong, that fast. Yeah, incredible. Guys, manager of the year.
Unai Emery.
I agree.
Yep, that's who I got as well. Unai Emery, and fantastic job coming in at Villa for Dum Dum Gerrard.
Resurrecting a dead carcass.
Yeah, dragging them into a European spot. So congratulations. It's so, and I was gonna say for my manager of the year, Antonio Conte, who did as much to ruin Tottenham as anybody. I'm very proud of him for that. Yeah, good
Very
for
proud
you.
of him, actually.
Thanks, boss. You did a great job.
Tottenham, by the way, in 4th place when they parted ways with Antonio Conte, and they finished in 8th.
Yep. We were 6th place with Tuchel.
Yeah.
We finished 12th on 38 goddamn goals. But yeah, anyways, season's over. The season is over. Oh, I can breathe again. Maybe some light. Maybe I'll let light shine on me again, because it's been a dark and gloomy goddamn season for me. Wow, what a year.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, Fares. It was nice to having you a few times this year.
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah, bookending it with you. You know,
That
we
was
always bookend with Fares Muthana.
I'm just a guy who's learning about world football. I may be wrong a lot. I may be right sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I always love it.
So, how poetic. That's a very poetic thing. Fares, where can people find you?
Guys, you can find me on the Let's Get Ready Network, the Highlights YouTube channel. Every Friday, 3 o'clock. Talk good friends, better us. We talk American football, as well as currently Roland Garros is airing. Me and Adelia will be coming back with some of our thoughts on the clay court season. Rafa Nadal's not there. He pulled out. Well, we'll be finding a new champion for the first time in like 5 years.
Yeah.
So that's the rally. Fares didn't say it, but that's on the
rally. It's the rally. It's the rally, guys.
And Adelia, our show's done. Our show is done.
This show is done.
Right.
But we have another show together called Playoff Beards, talking about the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. We are maybe hitting the end of the conference finals tonight.
Maybe.
On the day this is recorded.
Maybe.
But who knows at this point. We will have another episode of that coming up soon. And then we'll be covering the Stanley Cup finals as well. Snark, where can people find you?
On you mentioned the playoff beards. There's also, I've been showing up occasionally with our buddy Justin on Entertainment News Break. That's on the original Let's Get Ready Network channel. You can find me at Snark Yeti on Twitter. But as we say every week, not a good follow at all. At all. I don't do anything. How about you, Adelia?
The links to the channels, by the way, are in the description of this show. So click on them, subscribe over there. We'd really appreciate it. We're 4 away from 100 subscribers here on LGRN The Highlights. So please subscribe if you're not subscribed. You can find me on Twitter at Adelia Chambo. It's my birthday today, so if you want to pop over and say happy birthday, even though this is going up the day after my birthday, please do so. I would appreciate it. Still counts. We do the occasional live stream over on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/LGR_network. Maybe do some watch-alongs of the NBA Finals, me and Brandy, possibly happening. So we'll see how that goes.
Watch a friendship get destroyed.
No.
Okay. All right, fine.
And join us on Patreon at patreon.com/LGR_network. $1 a month gets you into the Discord. And if you want to be on Starting 11 when it comes back prior to next season, you can do that on one of the higher tiers or any show on any of the channels that we have here on the Let's Get Ready Network. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this year. It means a lot to us that anybody watched this because we're just a couple of fans talking about the game. We're not experts by any means, and appreciate your viewership and your time. And we will see you guys in August. Bye.